So secret number 3 is to commit to your habits. And every successful person that I've ever met, they live very intentionally and blocking out time for healthy habits that kind of become the cornerstone of their success. And really, our characters are determined by the repetition that we have of good habits. It's not just something we do once and leave it. It's something we do over and over and over again, and that consistency really makes a difference in our lives. I happen to be partial to Hal Elrod's Savers framework, which he wrote about in the Miracle Morning book. And I'll just go through a little bit some of the big things in that, not necessarily the entire framework, but journaling is one. And the idea behind journaling is, and I do this first thing in the morning, is to get into a mindset of gratitude. That really shifts your attention very quickly when you're feeling grateful for things. It's one of the most creative, productive, happy places that you can possibly be, and it's really a great way to start the day. A second thing that I do is to spend some time reading, and I'll have to admit, and maybe a lot of people feel this way, I don't necessarily have a ton of time to do reading, so I don't necessarily crack a book open, but I will get some really positive personal development or inspirational podcasts that I listen to, and I'll put those on as I'm getting myself ready in the morning or as I'm heading out to the gym, because I love to exercise early in the morning, and that's when I catch the reading part of it. The part number 2 of the habits that's really important is meditation. And again, this is one of those things, nobody thinks that they have the time for meditation and taking time to be silent or quiet. And you don't have to sit on the top of a mountain or a rock in the middle of the ocean like this guy's doing. But over and over again, studies have proven that meditation increases the productivity level by more than the amount of time that you take to do the meditation. And it also naturally increases your creativity, and it improves your communication skills, and it helps refresh your mind and rejuvenate you and kind of get you synced in for the day. So definitely something that I have made a regular practice. And again, I don't know that I do it perfectly, but I have been finding that it makes a real difference in the way I approach the day. Secret number 3, or habit number 3, is to eat well and drink lots of water. And I know we've heard this all the time, but really, what are you doing? You know, I'll just say for myself, I would roll out of bed and stop at the local coffee shop, and I'd get a sugar-laden Frappuccino coffee and a ham and cheese roll-up, and I'd eat it in the car and then plop it down on my desk as I opened up my email when I was going into work. But I've noticed that now I've shifted towards having things like green smoothies in the morning with lots and lots of vegetables, that it makes such a difference. I'm not hungry. I don't have the energy crashes. The other thing that's really important to do is to drink way more water than you think you need. I typically recommend 3 to 5 liters of water per day, and it's water, not sugary drinks, not sodas, not, you know, a bunch of things that are unhealthy. It's really, well, certainly not alcohol, certainly not in the morning, but pure water is the thing that really makes the difference. Exercising, as we talked about before, not just exercising for weight loss and to look better, but exercising actually gives you the energy. And I find that if I exercise in the morning, that I actually am in a better mood for the rest of the day. And everybody has to experiment with what works best for them, but certainly for me, it just gives me that long, sustained energy throughout the day. And then there's the habit of planning the day. And one of the things that I've really realized, and I talk to people a lot in my coaching, is that a day is something that's either won or lost. And you have the chance to set the intention for it early in the morning. And if you internalize that fact, you can become a lot more mission-driven about what it is that's important to you in the day. So planning the day ahead of time, what would be the ideal outcome? And I'll just take time to write down what would be great if it happened today, or what 3 things would have to happen today in order to make things great. And generally, when I've written those things down early in the morning, those things happen because I've set the intention early on. And the final element of a habit is to sleep. And this is the one I know high achievers hate, but there's been a lot of studies on this and maybe a lot of controversy. And yes, some people can get along with a lot less than the typical 7 to 8 hours of sleep, but that's a small percentage of the population. And I think we're so used to feeling overtired and dragged out that we don't even realize that we are that way anymore. But if you can get 7 to 8 hours, you'll find that your level of effectiveness goes up dramatically.
That is so true. And committing to these habits is so hard, Rob. And it takes one of the things that we all have such little of, which is time. And I know if you're anything like me and have been struggling for some time and you know want to get some inputs on how this can be done, make sure you stay till the end, and you'll get to hear how you can accomplish these things.
Perfect.